What up, y'all? What up? We're about ready to come live to you. So it's going to go live on Instagram real quick. And then we're going to get into this 10-game slate here on MLB. All right? That's what we are going to do. All right. Let's get into it, man. All right. All right, let's get into it, y'all. MLB going live. Give it a couple minutes, man. We'll get into it here in just a second. Waiting for this to upload, man. It's taking forever. Wanted to post a YouTube video. I'm pretty much going to be covering the same thing, but we'll see where it goes. All right, y'all. We're about to get into it. About to make some money on Money Monday. About to make some money on Money Monday. That's what we about to do, y'all. All right, let's get into it. We're going to wait, get a couple more in here. All right, let's go. We got a 10-game MLB slate. I'm going to give you the game leans, and then I'll give you a player prop out of each. Going to try and be quick. I want to hit the gym. Got to get to my my youngest later on. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. And if you missed, you can always jump on YouTube. Check it out on YouTube. I'll have my pre-recorded show on YouTube, and I will have this live as well. All right, first game up. We got the Houston Astros, and we have the Mariners. If you wanted to take this game, you need to jump off and put the bet in real quick. I like Kirby today. I think that he has a good game. George Kirby, I think he throws at least 5 to 6 strikeouts. If you want the value play, 6 strikeouts for George Kirby. The Astros have been hitting the ball pretty well, but I would say the lean in this for me is the first 5 innings. I believe that Mike Burrows is not a good enough pitcher to last long term in this game. So if I am you all, I want to take the first 5 innings where George Kirby is the better pitcher, and you have guys like Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arizona, those guys in the lineup that can hit the ball, put it in play, and they've actually played really well at home. As you can see, over the weekend, the Astros really struggled with their bullpen and their starting pitching. I think it's the same here. They come out on a slow start, and the Mariners are at least up through the first 5 innings. That's why I like the first 5 innings play for the Mariners. If I was to take a home run out of that game, I'm kind of going to probably lean Cal Raleigh. He just hasn't hit the ball all that well. He feels like he's due. Or Julio Rodriguez. Either of those guys are probably 2 of my favorite plays as far as home runs. You could lean Luke Raleigh, but I would probably say the safest bet today is Cal Raleigh. He seems like he's due to hit another one. I know he just homered, I think, two games ago, but that's still behind pace for him through 15 games in the season. I think he does get going here, and we see a couple games in a row where he starts hitting a couple more home runs. I would go Cal Raleigh for a home run today out of that game. All right. Then we move on into the Arizona, not Cardinals game, Orioles. We have the Orioles and we have the Arizona Diamondbacks. You got Ryan Nelson on the bump. I'm not a big Ryan Nelson believer. I think that the Orioles have hitters. I think the Orioles are going to out-hit them today. I'm just going to have to go with that side. I think that the Orioles end up covering the run line. So give me the -1.5 on the run line for the Orioles. I don't see it being a problem. I do believe that they have the lead from first inning all the way to the end of the game. So give me the money line at -130 on Caesars, or you could go -1.5 and get plus money. I think that they do cover and win by more than 2 runs. So that's where I'm at on the Orioles. My leans for home runs out of the Orioles game, I'm probably going to say Pete Alonso, or you could go with a guy like Gunnar Henderson. Both of those guys. Gunnar Henderson's definitely due. He might be the better play than Pete Alonso, just if you wanted to do it in a spot play. A guy who hasn't hit a home run in the last couple games. Give me Gunnar Henderson. He's probably the better play on the spot play. Pete Alonso, just more consistent with power. So you can go either guy there for the home runs, guys. How's everybody doing today, man? How'd y'all's weekend go? Y'all made money? Y'all lost money? Y'all bet on the NBA yesterday. You lost. I wanted to not bet, but it was the last day of the season. I was like, you know what? There might be some opportunities here to get some player props, and we missed a parlay by 1 Brandon Miller point. We needed Brandon Miller for 20. He had 19. So we almost had it, but almost ain't good enough most days. So But yesterday, MLB took care of us. We made some money on the Angels, made some money on the Braves yesterday. Yeah, man. Yesterday was a weird day if you bet NBA. Like I said, if you were on one of my parlays, I did have the Brandon Miller play missed by 1 point. The Spurs game stunk. That was a stinky line from the jump. It looked like the Spurs were going to start their starters, and I think that's why the line was the way it was. The Nuggets were really clear from the jump. They weren't playing anybody. The only question was Jokic going to play or not. And I had a feeling Jokic wasn't going to play just for the simple fact they were baiting people. I mean, Jokic was plus money for 20 points. It's like, no, this doesn't make sense. And that's exactly what happened. They did start some guys, the Spurs did, and then after the first quarter, they pulled them. That was just a trap game all day long. I think the safest play was the Hornets, and they did end up covering. So I wish I had been more on that side than I was. Yeah, I think the Lakers have a chance against the Rockets. We need to see where Luca and Austin Reeves are at health wise. If they're without Luca and Reeves and against the Rockets, I don't believe they stand a chance. I just think that the defense and the athleticism is going to be too much for those guys. The Lakers, as far as beating the Rockets over a 7 game series. So yeah, I don't think they have a chance against the Rockets without Luca or Reeves. So we just have to see where the health is on those guys come tip off. But they got a couple more days to get right, so hopefully they're ready. But yeah, man, that's where I'm at. Let's get back into MLB, man. So MLB, I just wrapped up. I said I like the Orioles to cover the run line, and I also like Gunnar Henderson or Pete Alonso for a home run. For that, if you wanted to take the Seattle Mariners, I like them through the first 5 innings, and kind of lean Julio Rodriguez or Cal Raleigh for a home run. All right. Let's get into the next game here. We're going to go to the Nationals where we got Cade Cavalli and Paul Skeens on the bump. This is probably one of my favorite games of the day, just from a fan standpoint that likes baseball. You got two really good pitchers. Cavalli's played really well all season long. Paul Skeens has not been the Skeens that we know, and that's what's scary because he could show up today and he could dice the Nationals for 10 strikeouts, right? I don't think that's the case. I think that plus 1.5, the way the Nationals have been hitting the ball, the way Cavalli has been creating ground balls and even getting some strikeouts. I know he hasn't been throwing a ton of strikeouts, 3, 4, 5 a game. Nothing crazy, but he's been doing a good enough job managing the games from the bump. I think that the Nationals can stay relevant in this game. I think the plus 1.5 is definitely active, especially through the first 5 innings. And if you want my opinion, I think the Nationals win this thing on the money line. I'm on that side today. I'm on the National side. Give me the Nationals on the money line, plus 188 on FanDuel. Fantastic value. And guys, just to break down handicapping for you and just outside of sports betting, it's always easy to take 3, 4 guys, pair them together, and cash a little something. But where the money really comes is when you find value. I think this is a value play. Win or lose, if there's 162 games, if you consistently take value plays like this over the course of a week and you only cash 4 of them, you lose 3, or you cash 3 and you win 4. Like if we took plus 188 and we cashed it 3 times over the course of a 7-day span, we would actually be in profit. So long term, I believe there is an edge here where the Nationals can win this thing outright on the money line for plus 188. So I'm going to be on that side today just based off of the value and their ability to go in here and beat the Pirates. So I do like that. Not beating Pittsburgh with their ace. Hey man, I know that's easy to say. I know it's easy to be like, hey, look, they're not beating Paul Skeens. But has Paul Skeens been Paul Skeens this season? He got worked in the opener. He hasn't really looked that sharp the last 2 games. He gave up a home run in the second inning last game he started. I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and going to beat the dog shit out of Paul Skeens. But go look at the data. I would challenge you to go look at the data on the Nationals and see how well they've played. Look at the teams they've beaten, what they've done so far this year. There definitely is an edge there to where the Nationals can win this game. Plus 1.5 to me is a great play. Give me the plus 1.5 for sure. But as far as the money line goes, that's within reach. That's within way more reach than the Dodgers game tonight with the Mets. In my opinion, the Mets aren't going to compete against the Dodgers. That lineup hasn't even got firing on all cylinders. Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez hasn't even really hit the ball that well. Wait till Teoscar gets going. That lineup is just starting to blossom. And they may not. Paul Skeens is a dog. But I want to be on the National side today, just based off the value. Minus 225 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That doesn't get me going, and neither does the minus 1.5. Pittsburgh can be inconsistent with hitting the ball. I think Cavalli can command the bump enough to where he can cause some trouble for some of those hitters. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And I believe it's going to be a lower scoring game. I lean on the side of the under 7.5. And because of leaning on the under 7.5, that's why I favor plus 1.5 on the Nationals. That's where I'm at on that play. See where it goes. See where it shakes out. All right, next up, Chicago Cubs, Philadelphia Phillies. Great fucking game. I love the Phillies, man, in this spot because of Christopher Sanchez. Christopher Sanchez is an absolute dog. Dude throws so much heat, consistently gets you 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. I think he's good for 8 strikeouts today. I would suggest you guys maybe do a ladder play here on this one. You could go ahead and take Chris Sanchez for 6. You could do him for 7, do him for 8, ladder him all the way up to 9, where they give you the option Philadelphia Phillies on the money line, Chris Sanchez to throw 9 strikeouts. Look, Cubs don't hit the ball well. They had that great run to come back and beat Pittsburgh the other game. Pittsburgh should have won that game. I had the spread, so I still cashed on Pittsburgh on that one. But in this case, they don't hit the ball great. They're inconsistent. Yeah, they came back, but look, they just don't hit the ball well, in my opinion. Look, they were one of the best hitting teams the first half of the season last year. Then they came out of the All-Star break and just were not hitting the ball the same way. They underperformed all season on that back half, and they kind of have come out this season and done the same thing. Other than that comeback against Pittsburgh, they hit the ball great. They looked great. Now, if that team comes out tonight, they could give Philly some trouble because the Cubs are a good team. The problem is I just don't believe they have the bats to keep up with Sanchez. And that's my opinion. I believe the Phillies covered the -1.5 here today, and they definitely win on the money line, especially at home in Philly. I like this spot a lot for the Phillies. So home run out of this one. I think Brandon Marsh is due, man. It's easy to say Schwarber. It's easy to say Schwarber. It's easy to say Bryce Harper. But look, Assad, a lot of these guys match up really well against Assad, even Trey Turner. Assad's not their ace. Assad's not that great of a pitcher. So in this sense, I'm going to go with a value play here in Brandon Marsh. I think he's due. He has the power, and he matches up well against Assad here in this spot. So give me the Phillies and give me Brandon Marsh for a home run. All right. Yeah, just grab a big baller. It's free tomorrow. So if you buy a big baller pass today, you're gonna get tomorrow for free. So it's pretty much 2 for 1 is what you're getting. So just look at it as like 60% off, pretty much, or 50% off. Pretty much is what you're getting. You're getting buying today and you get tomorrow free. Go ahead and use the code word money. I believe if you go ahead and use the code word money, it should give you a little bit of a discount as well on top of it. Yeah, the good wind conditions. I got them written down here on my phone. Let me see. Is it in Philly where the wind conditions are good? I got three to four stadiums written down here. Yeah, Citizens Bank Park has got the best wind condition today. Yep. Bush Stadium as well out there in St. Louis, and then Yankee Stadium as well. I think Yankee Stadium might have some fireworks today. Yankees have lost 5 in a row. So that brings us to our next game. Speaking of the fucking devil. Y'all got any questions though? I know I got one guy in here kind of talking about Skeens. I don't disagree with him. I think Skeens could dice him up, but I'm on the national side of things, and then I'm going to be on the Philly side of things here. Now, Angels versus the Yankees. Angels actually have looked pretty good this season, even with their bullpen struggles and their starting pitching. Soriano's been a bright spot. We were on them. That was our play of the day yesterday. We cashed big. Had a client that had never locked in with me before. He was out in Vegas. He said he bought 3 to 4 different cappers yesterday. And he said, I loved when I saw that you had -105 on the Angels. I slammed it at Circa. Dude's got money. He made a pretty penny. So salute to him. Cashing on our Los Angeles play of the day, the Angels. He made more than I fucking did yesterday. I'll tell you that. Big cash. So New York Yankees, Angels. I'm going to have to go Yankees here in this spot to win by more than 1.5. Kikuchi just doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't do it for me. Kikuchi doesn't do it for me. The hitters on the Angels do. I love Joe Adell. I love Trout. I love Zach Neto, man. I think all those guys got potential to go yard today. What's his name? Moan Kata. He could go yard today. There's a lot of guys on that Angels team that could go yard because Will Warren really, he can manage a game well, but he's just not a commanding ace, a commanding starting pitcher. I think that this Yankees team is due for a win, and it's more of a spot play for me in this on the Yankees today. They've lost 5 in a row. They're at home. They're taking on a fairly weak starting pitcher. I believe that the Yankees step up here. Those bats get going. I even like Jazz Chisholm for a home run. Jazz Chisholm hasn't hit many home runs. I don't even know if he's hit a home run this season. Honestly, I'd have to go back and look. I know if he has, it's only one. And I missed that game that he hit it in. The games that I've tuned into and the stats that I've looked at, I haven't seen Jazz hit one. So I like Jazz. This Yankees game's a spot play for me, meaning that they're at home, they're on a 5-game skid, they're playing a weak starting pitcher, and then the other spot is Jazz Chisholm hasn't hit many home runs this year. So give me Jazz to hit a home run today, and Aaron Judge is always the easy money. But look to Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario has actually had good history against Kikuchi, and he matches up well with him. He's very talented in the sense of this matchup. I know he's not high in the order, but if you wanted to take a look at Jazz and Ahmad Rosario for value, I know the easy take is Aaron Judge. But if you want to take a look at those guys for home runs, I'd recommend it as well. All right, that's where I'm at. Yankees money line, Yankees -1.5. This is a bounce back spot for them. They need to get going. They've lost 5 in a row, and they're at home in New York. Okay, next up, guys, and we're working our way through the slate. I'll obviously drop your comments, whatever you feel, whatever you agree with, disagree with. That's straight. I'll feed off of it, and we can talk about it a little bit. Marlins Braves, man. Marlins Braves. And if you didn't get paid yesterday, today's the day to get paid. If you lost your money over the weekend, today's the day to get paid. I like these MLB games today. They look good to me. I may drop an NHL play. I'm not certain. But yeah, I like this one a lot here. You got 2 good pitchers. They're not aces for these teams, but they're solid. Yuri Perez, Grant Holmes, both solid pitchers. I think we saw a great game. We cashed big last night, plus money on the Braves. We had the run line -1.5. Sunday night baseball. Almost said Sunday night football. There's my guy. What's going on, big dog? You got to send me that video of me hitting that golf ball, dude. I could have posted that for the Masters yesterday. We cashed on Rory McIlroy. I took him live. I took Rory. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take Rory live. And fucking then all of a sudden he dropped those 2 shots early, and I was like, fuck, I'm on the wrong side of this. But I put money on Sam Burns yesterday to win it, Rory McIlroy to win it. Neither of those guys cashed. Rory cashed. Sam Burns didn't cash. I was taking a long shot on that Sam Burns play. Thank you, bro. Hey, yeah, man. So yeah, if you want to just wait on NBA, that's tomorrow, bro. You see that I've got the NBA playoff pass out right now. Go grab the NBA playoff pass. Hit the link in the bio. Grab that. You're locked in for the rest of the year as far as NBA goes. So, and I know you're NBA better. You're gonna get your most value out of that. So just grab that. You won't miss a play. I'll have the play-in games tomorrow covered. But yeah, guys, let's get back into it. Marlins, Braves here all day. Braves are the only team still in the MLB to not have lost a series. Miami's played really well this year. I'm not going to sell Miami short. They've played really good baseball, surprisingly, but they were due. I mean, they've made upgrades to their starting pitcher rotation. Their young hitters are starting to come along. I like them in a sense that they could be competitive in today's game. I don't believe that the -1.5 is a surefire run line cover today against the Marlins, especially with the Braves playing a late game last night. But I do like the Braves a lot here on the money line. I think the money line is a guaranteed certain play for me. That's a lock. I like it a lot. Braves on the money line. If you wanted to take the -1.5 for value, go for it. My recommendation is money line and just go from there. You don't need to get greedy. That's a -148 on FanDuel. And that's the thing. In baseball, throughout the 162 games, you got to find the value. When to go plus money and when to go -148. This to me is that spot, -148. I bet 100. I'm going to get about 75 back. So that's kind of where I look at it. Rower. Well, I appreciate you locking in, man. Some days I don't win. I will tell you right now. If I won every single day, I would have a yacht next to Jeff Bezos. I do have a boat. I do have a Cybertruck, and I got a fucking 67 Mustang. I got a lot of nice things that sports betting is paid for. Got a good life. I'm here with you at 4:19 on a Monday. So yeah, I don't always win, but I win consistently, and especially my locks and my POTDs. If you locked in on Saturday, guys, or Friday, Friday and Saturday were rough days for me, I believe. And I extended a lot of you guys who had the big baller pass. Sunday, yesterday was a nice bounce back day. So that was big. Saturday was a good day too. Actually, it was Thursday, Friday. Sorry, Thursday, Friday were the rough days. Saturday, Sunday were good. Um, Last week it was okay. Last week, what day? I got Dodgers -1.5. Um, yeah, I don't remember having a bad week last week. You might have just been on a rough day where we didn't cash a ton. Um, but yeah, man, I appreciate you supporting. Sign up today. We're gonna run the tables. Going 2-0 on the locks and looking to cash a parlay. So that's where we're at. Home runs are trending, man. I missed a massive home run the other day, plus 22,000 by just off Christian Yelich. He was up the bat, bottom of the ninth, Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I have to go back and look. We're through 13 days on the month right now. We are 7-6, I believe, on the month, or 8-6, something like that. I have to look at it. But I don't have my spreadsheet. I'm here talking to you guys about live, not debating wins and losses. Once again, if you're rocking with me, you see all my guys, all my wins consistently. That's where we're at. Yesterday, we cashed on the Braves, -1.5. Cashed on the play of the day, which was the Angels. Those are my top two plays. Guys, I know that a lot of you like to join for the parlays. The parlays are not what I count. We hedge with the locks. So if I'm betting 3 units, we're going to sprinkle those parlays with our unit plays. And guys, if you need education on locks, this is what the education looks like in the units. You take your bankroll. If you can have $200 to gamble with today, right? Let's say you have $200 and that's it. You divide that number by 15. That's just to dumb it down. There's other unit ways to come up with it, percentages, 1% here, 5% here, whatever. I like to just say do 15, divide it by 15. If $200 is your bankroll, that's your unit. That's roughly $17 a bet. That means that you're going to bet around fucking, what is that? 61 dollars or so. No, sorry, $51 for a lock. So, today, for example, I like the Nationals. I tell you guys, hey, put a 1 unit play on the Nationals. All right, you're going to put $17 on the Nationals. And that's what you do. It's a long-term game. It's not something that you come in and you retire tomorrow. Always put together a little play where you can get yourself something like that. Maybe a little 6-leg home run parlay pays a crazy amount of money. You never know when it's going to be a lucky day. You never know when your read's going to be right. So I always say it's pepper 'em. But if you do that every single day, you $10, $10, $10, $10, $10. End of the month, you're going to be down. Those are very rare plays to hit. And the point is, you find something you like the Dodgers tonight, -1.5 Dodgers. You want to make a couple crazy parlays for $5-10. All right, make sure that you have 30-40 on the Dodgers to cover your losses. And if the Dodgers lose, fuck it. That's the play you should have been sweating. That's kind of my system. That's where I go with it. But yeah, man, let's keep getting into it and keep it going. I said Yuri Perez, Braves. I like Braves on the money line, -148. Let's keep it moving. Austin Riley for a home run. And you could probably take Grant Holmes for 5Ks. I like that. Next game up, Red Sox Twins. I think the Red Sox beat the brakes off the Twins tonight. I'm not a big Bailey Ober fan. I think Bailey Ober relies too much on ground ball, infield outs, fly ball outs. He doesn't strike enough guys out. I like the Red Sox here, especially with Crochet on the mound. Crochet should throw between 7 to 8 Ks tonight. I like Willie Abreu for a home run. He's due. You could even argue Trevor Story for a home run. But I like Abreu a lot. He matches up well with the Ober. So give me Abreu for a home run tonight. And the Red Sox here to cover -1.5. But my spot for the Red Sox is for them through 5. So first 5 innings, Red Sox on the money line. They should be able to handle the Twins, especially Bailey Ober. Let's just see if those Red Sox can get going. The bats have been quiet, similar to the Cubs. But I like what I saw last game from the Red Sox. Let's see if they can step up and get it going. All right. Moving into Guardians Cardinals. I like the Cardinals here. I know a lot of people are going to say Gavin Williams, Guardians getting beat down last night. For me, I like the Cardinals here. I think that they're at home and we don't look at road trips enough. The Guardians are on the road. They're traveling in here to St. Louis. They just played a late game last night where they got the brakes beat off of them. They had to have a position player come in to finish the game out. I personally think that the Cardinals are good here and they're active and live on the money line. It's plus money on BetMGM, plus 105. Give me the Cardinals here, guys. I really like this spot for them. Even though Liberatore is not a great pitcher and he's gettable, and a lot of these Guardian hitters could get him and they could jump out to an early lead, that's what we have to watch out for as far as that game goes. Now, if for some reason the bats are not there for the Guardians like they haven't been the last couple games, then they're definitely active and alive because I believe the Cardinals can get to the Guardians once they get through a couple innings of Gavin Williams. So that's my take on this one. Give me the Cardinals on the money line. I don't know if I gave you a home run out of that game. You guys could probably look at Burleson just went and hit a home run. So he's in a groove. I kind of like Burleson off the Cardinals to get another one tonight, but I wouldn't want to go trying to get Gavin Williams early. So I would kind of lean more towards Jose Ramirez, who hasn't really been hitting the ball all that well. And Liberatore is gettable. So maybe a Jose Ramirez type of play here, or even David Fries for value. All right, guys, we got two more games left on the slate here. Texas Rangers at the A's. Oakland A's got a great hitting ballpark. That's a hitter's ballpark, easy to hit home runs. And Severino is not a good pitcher, man. Severino puts a lot of guys on base. I think this is a spot to look for a yes run first inning. I think they could score a run in the first here. This is a great spot to look at that play. Severino's had 3 starts this year and he has walked 14 batters. He tends to put guys on base. You don't want to do that with the Rangers. The Rangers have great hitters from Corey Seager to Pedersen. I know Langford's not playing today, but they've got a lot of really good hitters on that team. So I think they're able to drive in runs, especially if Severino struggles with his command like he did the first 3 starts. So for me, this is a minus 125 money line play. I like the Rangers here in this spot. They should be able to win it on the money line. And they also have their ace up there. And I know it's not Jacob deGrom, but if Eovaldi, he can throw the ball and he can throw some strikeouts. So I think he does a good enough job tonight. And they get this thing won and they take care of it. They win and cover the run line. But I want my money on the money line here, minus 125. All right. That's where I'm at for the Rangers game. Give me the Rangers. And I think Seager's due for a home run. So if you wanted to go Seager for a home run, go Corey Seager. He hasn't hit many this year. I think he's only got 1 on the season. So give me Corey Seager for a home run here against a weak pitcher in Severino. All right. Then the last game of the night, guys. Last game of the night, 10 o'clock game out there on the West Coast. What up, Chad? Appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, Rangers money line. I like them a lot. Feels like a very safe play. It's not my lock of the day or anything like that. It is a play that I do like for the simple fact that Severino tends to put guys on base. And the Texans have good enough hitters they can drive in some runs, right? But the argument here is the A's bats are hot. Like, the A's can hit the piss out the ball. From Nick Kurtz to Langeliers to Lawrence Butler, Tyler Soderstrom, Jacob Wilson, and this doesn't even include Brent Rooker in the lineup, who's not playing today. They've got some guys who can hit the ball. The issue with the A's is their bullpen and their starting pitchers. So if I'm going to have to lean for the edge here today, I believe it's Severino. Severino's giving up a lot of walks. He's going to put guys on, and the Texas Rangers are going to drive those runs in. But this could be a very close game. So that's why I'm not recommending that minus 1.5 run line. I would rather have the Texas Rangers on the money line here, especially coming off that series with the Dodgers where they need some wins. So give me the Rangers on the money line. Last game of the night, 10 p.m. start time, Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Mets. Mets going into Dodger Stadium out there in L.A., where the Dodgers are fucking killing it. Like, I faded the Dodgers that first game against the Blue Jays, and they beat the Blue Jays 13-1. I said, their Blue Jays have had this game circled. Psychopath Scherzer has had this game circled. Like, they're going to come out and they're going to compete. They got beat 13-1. Like, I haven't seen a team. I know the Dodgers have lost games this year, and I know that it's the MLB and it happens. But this team is loaded from top to bottom, from Ohtani all the way down to Andy Pages. I just said earlier in the show, Teoscar Hernandez hasn't even got to hitting the ball yet. Like, he hasn't even started hitting the ball. Freddie Freeman has been inconsistent. I know he's got 4 or 5 home runs on the year, but he's been inconsistent. Like, once those guys start heating up, watch out. Because you already got Max Muncy hitting the ball, Will Smith, Ohtani, Andy Pages. They're all hitting the ball really well. Once a couple of these other guys get going, it's game over. And I think today's that type of spot for David Pedersen. I like Freddie Freeman for a home run. I like Teoscar Hernandez for a home run. I think this is their spot tonight in this game. The Mets traveling all the way across the country. And I believe the Dodgers cover this thing easy. I think they win by 4 to 5 runs. Give me the -1.5 on the run line. This could be one of my favorite plays of the day. I do like the Dodgers a lot. I don't believe this is a sleepy spot. I know they got a young pitcher on the mound tonight in Justin Robleski, but for me, I'm going to have to go Dodgers here. They just have too much offensive talent, and the Mets have struggled to hit the ball. So that's where I'm at with that one, guys. That wraps up that tonight's slate. Home run wise, you can give me Will Smith. Give me anybody in that lineup. Give me anybody in that lineup. Run line, -1.5, Dodgers. Give me anybody in that lineup to hit a home run tonight. You throw a dart at it. Somebody's going yard. But if I had to pick three, it's Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, or Will Smith. Give me one of those three guys to go yard tonight. Otani hit one yesterday. He could go yard again. He tends to do that, go on these runs where he hits 2, 3, 4, 5 back to back, and go in big streaks. So he's kind of a little bit behind his pace that he normally operates at. He's about 2 or 3 home runs behind pace from what he normally is at this time of the year. He just had that slow start where he didn't have one through the first 5 games. But yeah, man, give me that where I'm at with the Mets and Dodgers. What questions y'all got? How'd you do this weekend? Do you like betting MLB? Do you have a favorite team? Are you more of a parlay better? Do you do home runs? Do you do strikeouts? Do you do money line, straight? I mean, guys, feel free to let me know where you guys are at. I go both. I go both sides. I like to bet most of my money on straight plays, and then I pepper part of the profits, or assuming the profits. This is kind of how I word it. I assume that I'm going to win with the Dodgers tonight. So I'll put some of that money out on home runs and see where we go. Where y'all at tonight? Parlay better. So little parlay bet that I like tonight, as far as the money line goes, is you could take. It's kind of a favorite parlay, like just kind of chalky, no big plus money stuff. But you could go Phillies, New York Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Rangers. It's a +1,000 parlay. I think all those guys have aces on the mound, other than Will Warren. Everybody and Grant Holmes isn't that much of an ace, but outside of those two guys, you got 3 aces on the mound, one with the Rangers, Red Sox, and Phillies. And then the other games, you just got really good hitting lineups with the Yankees and the Braves. This is a bounce back spot for the Yankees, in my opinion. Now, if you wanted another play that I really liked, guys, I would probably say, and it has great value. It's only a 2-leg. It's +500. You go Cardinals money line along with the Nationals money line. And I know it's scary because you say, oh, Paul Skeens versus Gavin Williams. Like, those are 2 aces. The Nationals aren't beating those aces. Well, the Nationals have beat plenty of aces this year. Go back and look at how many games they've won. Have you tried Onyx Odds? Onyx Odds is it's really nice. It's kind of got like a Prize Picks feel, but it's more like a traditional sports book. Let's go get them tonight, Matt. Let's go get them tonight. I know NBA was shit last night, but we'll get them tonight. Baseball was pretty good to us yesterday. So, and then we had a really good Saturday. Poor Thursday, Friday, and I think the week before we had like a bad day or two. But mostly we've been winning this April. It hasn't been as profitable as January and February were. And then March we turned a corner. March we had a slow start. March we had a really bad start to March. Actually, I think we started the month like 1-5. Like we had 4 losing days in a row. But we turned a corner at the end of March. We finished the month in profit. There's 31 days in March. We profited, I want to say, 22 of them. So in this spot, we're still in the green here as well. So we'll see what happens tonight with tonight's plays. I don't have a lot of locks. I told you guys I really like the Dodgers here tonight. I really I know a lot of you guys disagree with it, but I really like the Nationals here in this spot. On the +1.5. Do +1.5 for the Nationals as far as the run line goes. I think it's a close scoring game. I think they can keep this within a run, and I think that +1.5 comes in handy. Oh yeah, we're gonna cash them in the playoffs. We're gonna cash something in the playoffs, man. Late season NBA, the last week would have been just better not betting it the last week, just because it's too many guys resting, too many teams not playing anymore. The seeding, I thought yesterday, I really did. I thought yesterday that these guys would have fought for the seeding better. The only team that fought for their seeding was the Hornets, in my opinion. Everybody else just kind of fucking said, whatever, you know, we'll take what we got. Like Lakers did as well. Lakers did as well. They wanted to make sure that they had their seed. But Nuggets won. And that Spurs and Nuggets game was stinky as fuck. They trapped everybody. And the worst part about it was when I originally saw it, I wanted to go Nuggets plus 11 and a half and do the money line. And then I read the injury report. And this is where it's just like, ugh. I read the injury report and Nuggets were sitting 8 guys. I said, they're sitting 8 people. There's no way the bench players beat the bench players of the Spurs. Spurs have one of the best benches in the league, from, Keldon Johnson all the way down. I mean, those guys can really play ball off the bench for the Spurs. I mean, even Harrison Barnes in his older age can still play good ball. So I'm surprised that the Nuggets bench beat the Spurs bench. I really am. Yeah, your Tennessee boy, your Vols, old Dalton Connect. So guys, I want to hit the gym. That's where I'm at tonight on the plays. I appreciate you locking in. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Look the one way.